In this video, you're going to learn what is going on with your baby in the 31st week of your pregnancy, what can you expect for yourself, and then also I'm going to share how my 31st week of pregnancy is going because I'm currently pregnant with baby number 4. Hey, my name is Gina. I'm a perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula and currently pregnant with baby number 4.
And hi, I'm Roxanne. I'm a labor and delivery nurse and student midwife and mom of 3.
So before we dive into what to expect during the 31st week of your pregnancy, I want to share that my book Training for Two is now available for pre-order. Training for Two is all about how you can use prenatal fitness to help support a strong pregnancy, a pain-free pregnancy, and also to help you prepare for birth. And there's even an entire chapter in Training for Two on what you can do during the early postpartum to help establish a strong foundation going into your recovery. In Training for Two, there's tons of pictures, written descriptions on different exercises, and QR codes to videos because for me, it's a lot easier to know what to do by watching a video, and so we include tons of exercise videos in the book as well. Training for Two comes out on September 10th of 2024, so depending on when you're watching this video, it may already be available, but you can check it out down in the notes below. So Roxanne, what can we expect for baby in week 31 of pregnancy?
Week 31, a baby is the size of a half gallon of Sunny D, Sunny Delight, the weird orange juice from the 90s, early 2000s. If you know what Sunny Delight is, please let us know in the comments below because I feel like do they even sell it still?
I think they do Sunny D.
But also, if that does not resonate with you, a coconut. If you have seen a real coconut in real life, that is the size of a 31-week baby approximately. But during the 31st week, baby can now move their head from side to side. So now they're strengthening their neck muscles for when they come out to be able to start to move their head and lift their head up when they're doing tummy time with you. The brain is continuing to rapidly develop during this third trimester. So their 5 senses are continuing to develop. So their sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch, all of those senses are continuing to develop. And around the 31 week, baby's starting to run out of room. It seems like the baby just cannot get any larger, but they will. But they're kind of running out of room to be in like a fully extended position like they were earlier. So they're starting to tuck into that fetal position with their knees in, their back rounded, and their chin hopefully tucked into their chest. So they're that little comfortable fetal little position of like safety. And they just like don't have any other room other than to be in that fetal position. And baby hopefully at this point has turned head down, but they do have a little bit more weeks to do that.
So we had a question this week in the Mamas Have Fit online community group chat where if you're a member of any of our online programs, you get access to, where somebody was really concerned that their baby was breech because she was feeling all the kicks around like her lower abdomen and her belly button area when she felt like she should only be feeling them in her rib cage if her baby is head down. Could you explain more of why you may feel kicks in different areas?
Yes, I can with this baby. So if your baby is head down, so their head is down here by your cervix, their feet can be in different positions. So ideally, they're going to be in this fetal position. Usually the feet are just tucked in. Usually the knees are tucked in, but the feet are still up by the fundus or the top of the uterus or close to your rib cage. So when they're kicking, you might feel them up in that rib cage when the baby is head down. But some babies, their feet might be fully flexed in. And so that's why you're feeling the kicks down below just based off of their feet. Because not all the babies are going to be like this or like this. Some babies, their feet are going to be fully folded by their face, and then they're kicking you like that. Their arms are also down there as well. So like as your baby next to their head, the arms do move during pregnancy and they might be punching you. So not kicking you, punching you. And throughout the pregnancy, their legs and their arms are going to move in different positions. So sometimes a baby's one foot can be here. So that's why you're feeling the kicks by the rib cage. But this leg could be down here. So that's why you're also feeling kicks down here. Their legs are going to do all different positions. And baby doesn't stay in one position the entire pregnancy. Baby is constantly moving and repositioning themselves. So one day your baby could be like on your right side, and then the next day they're on your left side, or the next day they're like facing towards your spine. So the baby is constantly moving positions and constantly changing the positions of their legs and their arms throughout your pregnancy. In order to know whether or not baby is breech, aside from just the kicks, because again, if you feel kicks down here, that's usually a concern that baby might be breech if you're feeling them low, is where do you feel baby's hiccups? Because usually the part of hiccups is going to be up by the head and like the upper back area. When you feel the hiccups down below, that usually means baby is head down because that's where you're going to feel those hiccups the most. If you feel the hiccups at the top of your belly, so by your rib cage or just above the belly button, really, then that would be a concern that maybe baby is breech because the hiccups are more of an indicator of where baby's head is than the actual fetal kicks. If you feel only kicks down below and nothing up top, that's always like worthy to ask your provider just to be like, hey, can you just assess whether baby's head down or not? Or do an ultrasound to see if baby's head down because I am concerned. But most of the time, the kicks, if you do feel them below, it's again just the legs and the arms being in different positions as baby is just kind of settling in and adjusting throughout the day rather than baby is necessarily breech and that is why they're kicking. Because even breech babies, you can feel kicks above because again, their feet could be like this and they're kicking you and you think that your baby is head down when it's actually breech. So for week 31, that's really all that's going on with babies. They're nestling into that fetal position. Their brain is continuing to develop as well as their neck muscles are starting to strengthen and grow. But for you, again, all the same pregnancy discomforts. You might start to notice more lower back pain as well as hip pain as baby is starting to nestle a little bit into the pelvis. So it's now having to accommodate not just like the pregnancy changes, but a little bit more weight now that baby is kind of settling in there for some people. So if you start to have more discomfort, this is very common at this time during pregnancy. Something that some people experience at 31 weeks or starting around the middle to end of the third trimester is that you might start to notice that your boobs are leaking that colostrum, that thick, nutrient dense milk. And this is because you start to create colostrum like at the beginning of pregnancy. But we all have sphincters at the end of all of our milk ducts within our breast. But some of us have like weaker sphincters, for a lack of a better word, and they can cause it to leak out. But you are creating the colostrum, so you might actually notice that in the third trimester, your boob size actually increases as well because your body is starting to create even more milk in preparation for baby to be born. And some of it just starts to leak out for some of us. If you find that you're leaking milk, completely normal, but you can start using like milk pads like during pregnancy instead of in the postpartum to kind of collect that and keep your clothes as clean as possible throughout the day. I really like the Bamboobies nipple pads because I just find that the other ones don't really work, but there are lots of options for boob pads out there. And then around 31 weeks, we can start looking for those parenting classes, especially if this is your first baby. So you can look into like newborn classes of like how to take care of a newborn if they're available in your area. There's also like infant CPR. Now would be a great time to start doing all these things before the fatigue of third trimester comes in. You lose all motivation to do anything. And then this is also a common time that people start having their baby showers or at least starting to plan their baby showers. So if you don't yet have a baby registry, now is the time to start thinking about what you would like to put on your baby registry. And we have a baby registry freebie of all of the things that we have found to be really useful for parenting and with baby, as well as things for you that could be really beneficial. And you can check that out in the links below. So Gina, how are you feeling in week 31? Aside from not sleeping.
So yeah, sleep is still a little bit more of a struggle. It's not quite as bad. I think my iron levels are probably increasing now that I've been taking them for about 4 weeks. And so I don't have as much anxiety, which is very helpful with sleep, is to not be anxious when you're trying to fall asleep. But still just having a little bit of harder time just like falling asleep. So still drinking like my sleepy time tea at night and then also listening to meditations to help kind of calm me down to help me sleep. But yeah, I also got like a cooling blanket a few weeks ago. I think I may have mentioned it in a previous week because I also get very hot at night now. I really haven't struggled with temperature in previous pregnancies, but it's the middle of June, or I guess it's July now. It's very hot in North Carolina. Somebody had commented on how well I was doing in the heat while being super pregnant as I'm just like melting in a chair. And I'm like, I'm not doing well. I'm actually not doing well.
It's all a facade.
I'm so very sensitive to heat this pregnancy. So the hard part about like the temperature being so high here is like I'm at the point of my pregnancy where the cardio that I want to do is going for walks. And it's too hot to go for walks right now because I will melt outside. And even if I try to wake up early or I try to stay up late to like go for a walk, it's still just so hot. So what I recently got was a walking treadmill
Oh yeah, I
for
just got one
me
too.
to have at my desk. So like when I'm working on like videos or writing blogs, I can just walk on that. And I can also like really easily move it away from my desk to do like a 10 or 20-minute walk while the kids are playing. So that's been like a really helpful way for me to get some cardio in indoors where there's air conditioning because it's so hot outside. And I'll link the one that I grabbed on like online down in the notes below. And because it's my fourth baby, I'm not doing like a full-blown baby shower because somebody asked me the other day if I needed anything, and I was like, "Oh, not really. I've got everything that I need for this baby." But I am doing like a blessing way or a mother's blessing, depending on what you refer to it as. And so it's essentially like just a group of all my friends. We get together and we do this like little ceremony to kind of set the good vibes for my birth. And one of my favorite parts is you do these like little bracelets, these little string bracelets, and everyone ties them on and like gives me like a good wish for the rest of the pregnancy and my birth. And then when I'm in labor, we have like a group chat that we set up, and then everybody will cut their strings off at the same time to send me like good vibes. But I always stay pregnant really long. So by the time we make it to when I'm in labor, everyone's bracelets are
It's
like
like
this
so
gross and
so
disgusting
gross.
because it's just been
So
collecting like
gross.
water and like life for like 6 weeks. So I'm gonna try to do it like when I'm like 37 weeks. So hopefully it's only like a month of wearing the bracelet. Last pregnancy, I think we did it much earlier, and like
It was gross.
everyone's bracelets were so
Some
gross.
people did some people did cut it off earlier.
Yeah. But I'll also link the Blessing Way kit that I got for my previous pregnancies that I'm also getting for this one as well, because it has all the stuff and like the script for the ceremony and the sage and the string and like the bath salts and stuff. So there's a bunch of like little like fun things involved with it that I just sense it just sets like good vibes for me. And I'm also starting to prep kind of the stuff for my birth as well. So my home birth kit has arrived. We're starting to like nest and like get the house ready for the baby. But yeah, so just a lot of like getting prepped for birth now that we're kind of nearing the end. Have anywhere from like 7 to 10 weeks to go, I guess.
Hopefully not 10.
But overall, feeling pretty good physically, feeling mostly good mentally, and just melting from the heat. So, but yeah. So thanks for tuning in to week 31 of what to expect during your pregnancy. If you're pregnant, be sure to comment below to let us know how you are feeling. And if you want more support during your pregnancy, be sure to check out our online prenatal fitness programs and online childbirth education course. You can bundle the two together to save even more, but you can use code YouTube10 to get 10% off either of the programs. And then bundling them together is an additional 15% off. You can check out all of our support offerings on our website at mamasayfit.com.